What do you usually think of when you hear Christmas? It might be the presents, decoration, food, but for me, the thing I always get excited about each year is watching the Christmas movies. I love watching them, I love the messages, I love the just style of them. They might not always be good, but honestly, I love them either way. But one movie I feel like just encapsulates everything I love about these Christmas movies is The Muppets Christmas Carol. So let's talk about it. So I love this film. It is a great adaptation of one of fiction's most popular stories, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I love the way it incorporates the Muppets because they didn't overshadow the story. Despite when you go in you want the Muppets, you actually feel more hooked by Scrooge's story. And giving the Muppet side characters like Bob Cratchit, Fozziwig, and the Marley Brothers honestly was just all amazing. Now, when deciding to watch the movie, you are going into it wanting the Muppets, but you leave it in tears. I remember watching it with someone once and they ended up crying over Tiny Tim's death. I love how Michael Caine portrayed Scrooge. I think he gave one of the best performances any human has given in a Muppets movie before. I love how Gonzo took on the role as the narrator, kind of gave himself the name Charles Dickens, and I like how the rest of the Muppets actually felt as if they were in a story and that they weren't the actual Bob Cratchit, the actual Charles Dickens, and the actual Fezziwig. And I think pairing up Gonzo with someone like Rizzo was honestly just something I loved. I've never actually really been into the Muppets, but I don't know if Rizzo and Gonzo are a popular pairing. Some of my favourite Muppets translations in this movie were Sam the Eagle as Scrooge's professor, because I loved how he's always a patriot, he's always loving America, but then giving him this British setting, he was just always amazing. And I just honestly love him, honestly, as one of my favourite Muppets. And I love Fozziwig as a mentor to young Scrooge. I think that giving Fozziwig the name Fozziwig was so hilarious, and honestly I wouldn't be shocked if they just went, this is something that we could do in this, and they just made a whole movie around this idea that they could do this. But absolutely the best Muppets translation to the Christmas Carol story was Statler and Waldorf as the Marley Brothers. Somehow they had the best song in the whole movie. They were the deserted partners of Scrooge, and I think them just coming back in these shackles as old men who did wrong in their life was honestly some of my favourite things. And for a kids movie, they did not shy away from any dark subjects, especially death. I loved that they actually did show Tiny Tim's death, because I always remember just blacking that out when I watched the movie for some reason. But in going back into it, I'm always shocked that they actually show the death of Tiny Tim. Not the actual death, but the repercussions. I thought it was just always going to be an implied thing. And for a musical movie, all the songs were forgettable. I think the Marley Brothers song and the last song were the better songs, and I just never really liked the songs in this movie, which is kind of odd considering that I love a lot of Muppets other songs. I found the three ghosts, especially the Christmas Past, kind of terrifying and a bit creepy, and I'm not too happy with how they turned out. And I was kind of really shocked that they were going to use real Muppet characters as the three ghosts, because I feel like it would have taken away from Scrooge's story and put more focus on the jokes and quips that they would have made. And I feel like creating three new characters was the right idea. Now, I love this movie. It's one of my favourite Christmas movies. I give it an 8 out of 10, but if I were to rank it among other Christmas movies, it would just receive a 10 out of 10, because I don't love all Christmas movies, but this movie is just always one that brings me joy. So, thank you for watching, and this is Movie Nerd signing off.